Good evening, friends and family, and thank you for coming to another night with Behind Black Business, which is our podcast here at Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities. And I have discovered a jewel in our community, and that is Tierra Hill. Tierra is a local artist. And Tierra, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be with us tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you
for
very much.
having me.
Absolutely. And we're going to be talking to Tierra about art tonight. But just want to tell you a few things. For those of you that are new to our podcast, as you know, we are a nonprofit organization and we came about trying to find a way to help the Black community here in Chicago. We have so many problems, and we felt one of the best ways to do this was to support our Black businesses because our Black businesses help us circulate those dollars in the community. Hiring people, doing business with other Black businesses, um, um, networking, being a mentor, just so many ways that a business in a community can help the community, the services that they provide to the community. And of course, those dollars that we spend help to find their way back to strengthen the community. And if you go all around Chicago and you go into areas and you see a lot of small businesses, those communities are thriving. And that's been a problem here in Chicago, Tierra, because we've had so many people that have come into our communities and they've set up businesses and they won't give back. They have no intentions of giving back. And it has had a devastating impact on our community. And so that's why we're trying to help uplift our businesses by providing support. We've built our websites. We've made donations, try to help businesses. We do this podcast every week. We've done over 100 podcasts now of Black businesses here in Chicago. And we want people to know who these people are and just the wealth of services and the wonderful people that we have. Because when we watch television and we look at the news, it doesn't look good at all, But within all of this rubble, there are diamonds and there are people that are out here making a difference and making it happen. And if they weren't here, I think we'd be in worse shape than we are. We continue to support the Southside Community Federal Credit Union, which is a Black-owned financial institution that gives loans for car loans, mortgage loans, personal loans. They came about for the same reason, because many of our people couldn't go into some of the major banks and get loans. So they've been around for 20 plus years, supporting the community, and we support them. You deposit monies into the bank, and that allows the bank to create money. We just saw with the run on with the bank here recently in the news, because so many people went and started to pull their money out of that bank, and then that bank was about to fail. So we have to support our Black-owned banks. And then our other institution that we give a lot of support to are our bookstores. As I've said many times on this show, we once had 22 Black bookstores in Chicago. We were down to 2. We have a resurgence. If you go to our website at rrgbc.org, we have listed all of the bookstores here in the Chicago area, the brick and mortar, and those that are online. We want to support our bookstores. We have a public policy piece that we're pushing, where we want our public schools and our local libraries to give attention to our Black-owned bookstores. Our public schools can give contracts to our Black-owned bookstores. So that's another piece that we're working on. And then every month we feature a Black bookstore on our website, and we do a book giveaway. So this month, it is Rose Cafe, and the lady that owns it is a special education teacher. She has an online bookstore and a wonderful array of books for children, adults, and she recommended for this month as our featured bookstore of the month, Saving Ruby King by Catherine Adele West. It's a fictional read. She is a Chicago resident. She was born and raised in Chicago. And she's also identified as one of USA Today's Black authors. And this is a very interesting book about family, generations within families, family secrets, some of the problems that many of our families have run into. Very, very interesting read. So in order to win this book, all you have to do is subscribe to our website, and you can become eligible to win this book. And you can go also on the website and see some of the many other wonderful reads that we have given away. We feel it's important to read. That's where we gain knowledge about our history and about why things are happening the way they are in the world. We can't just always operate based on how we feel. You need some knowledge and some information behind that. And so that's why reading is very important. And our perspectives on reading are in our bookstores. So please support our Black owned bookstores. Please support Rose Cafe. You can go to rosecafe.org and look at what she has to offer. Okay. So tonight, we're going to be talking with Tiara Hill. I was at Macy's Marketplace. Is it called in Evergreen? Is that what we call it? Macy's Marketplace.
Yeah, it's called Market by Macy's, or
Okay.
it's also called Macy's Backstage.
Okay. Okay. So now this is the second time I've come there, and I have seen at least four Black businesses right there as you come in the door. You were there, and there were several other Black businesses there, and
Yep.
you had this nice table set up with your artwork. And so, how did you get involved with this? How does this come about that you would end up at Macy's?
Well, I have a coworker. She sells at Market by Macy's. So it
Hmm.
was word of mouth. So she has her own business, Sound Chick
Okay.
Accessories. She makes accessories using a lot of feathers. She's into feather work.
Hmm.
So she told me she was selling there. So I asked her to put me on, give me the information so
Hmm.
I could try. So she was gracious enough to share. So
Okay.
yeah, it was a blessing. I'm very happy about it.
Wow. So was this your first time there?
No, this is the day that you met me. That was
Mhm.
my sixth or seventh time setting up there.
Okay.
I've been going there since January.
Okay. Okay. So once you become a part of this, is this an ongoing thing or for so many months? How does that work?
Well, people sign up based on their availability. So you
Hmm.
get to email the person, the coordinator, and
Hmm.
say you want to sign up for Tuesday or Wednesday. And then you tell her the time. And then you show up. So it's first come, first serve.
Okay.
So it varies based on people's schedules, but it's a lot of different people selling everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
just depends on the day that you show up. So the day that you saw me, I had signed up for the Sunday, one Sunday, and then another Sunday in
Okay.
March.
Okay. Yeah. So this is like a pop-up, right? Is that
Yeah,
so
it's
would
a
you
pop
call it?
up. It's a
Mhm,
pop
it's a
up.
pop-up. So Macy's has pop-up. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I'm sure it's been, helpful and inspiring, at least encouraging to you to be able to get out here and show your work as an artist. And what I saw on Sunday were paintings. So tell us about your paintings.
Well, I like colors. I
Hmm.
think for me, my favorite part about painting is actually mixing and blending the colors together to come up with something that's in
Hmm.
my mind. But for the most part, when I'm painting, I'm just kind of going with the flow. I don't really have an idea in mind. Sometimes I have an idea in mind,
Hmm.
but other times I'll say, I kind of feel like painting.
Okay.
And I'll say, okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And
Okay.
it's just like, as I'm painting, as I'm picking colors, then I come up with the decision and I say, okay, this is this.
Hmm.
Should I show you an example right now?
Sure, if you would
Or,
like to. If you would like to.
okay,
Hmm.
okay, let me get it. All right, so this painting right here, it's a little baby, cute field of flowers.
Okay.
This one, I got into this. This was my first painting.
Hmm.
Like, I would say this is my first true painting. This is when I kind of wanted to try it. And I said, I wanted to do a field of flowers. And I just kind of came up with it.
Okay, that's very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
there's other paintings where it's
Hmm.
like I have an idea in mind and I know what I'm going to do.
Hmm.
And I just draw it out. And let me show you that one. Okay. So,
Oh, that's nice.
thank
That's very nice.
you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. In my head, I said I wanted to paint a pineapple because, based on my research, it says that it takes about 2 years for a pineapple to grow and ripen and be ready to eat.
Interesting.
So I
Okay.
said that this is kind of showing my growth and in the patience department. I feel like maybe when I was younger, I didn't have much patience,
Hmm.
like maybe shorter tempered, like kind of hot headed. And I realized as I get older that it's okay to calm down and chill,
Hmm.
breathe. So the pineapple I just kind of felt like doing something colorful. And the watermelon on the pineapple, with the pineapple next to
Uh-huh.
it.
Sure.
Wait, let me.
Okay.
I love watermelon. One thing
Oh,
about
and
me,
hey, so do I.
I love watermelon. And then this
Um,
right here over my thumb is aloe vera, and it's
hmm.
flowering.
Okay.
So I know sometimes when people see it, they don't really know what it is, but it's aloe vera.
It kind of reminds me of some of the artwork I've seen in the Caribbean, just because they do a lot of paintings of the, fruits that are native to the Caribbean. So you'll see watermelons, you'll see mangoes and lots of pineapples and coconuts, things like that. Um, but you mentioned that it's a lot of patience. So how long does it take you? How long did it take you to do that particular painting?
Hmm, maybe 10, 11 hours, I would say,
Okay. Okay.
in total.
Okay.
I didn't do it in one day.
Sure. So it was over a period of time.
Yeah, yeah, about 2 days. I wanted to get it done. So it took me about 10, 11, give or take. Give or
Okay.
take, yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? Speaking of Caribbean, I'm Caribbean.
Oh, okay. Where?
Well,
Hmm.
my mom is from Trinidad and my
Okay.
father's from Jamaica.
Okay.
But I'm from the South Side. I'm from
You're from the
here.
South Side of Chicago. Okay.
Yeah. I was born in Chicago Heights, but
Okay. But your family is
yeah,
from the
yeah.
Caribbean. So have you visited there?
I've only been to Trinidad. I haven't been to Jamaica. I'm overdue.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, Jamaica is one of my favorite places for sure. So you talk about the time you put into your artwork. How did you at what point in your life did you get interested in painting?
Well, the year I'd say was about 2017, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I was a sophomore in college
Okay.
and I used to go to paint and sips.
Okay.
Because for me, I've always drawn, I've always been artistic, but I feel like I didn't start getting into painting until I got to college and started
Okay.
really experimenting. I just had some extra canvases, had some
Mhm.
extra paint, and I just decided to do it. And I really only started painting for me. When I'm painting my paintings, for the most part, I don't really make it for the consumption of other people.
Mhm.
But my mom, she saw my art and she told me I could sell them.
Sure.
So I
Sure.
said, you know what? You're right. You're
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So that's where I am right now. I'm letting people know that I exist and I can create art for them specifically because that
Mhm.
little bitty baby piece that I showed up, I mean, this is a cute little thing. I know people want something bigger.
Sure.
So
And
if they
sometimes smaller, depending
yeah,
on yeah, you know.
yeah, so if they wanted something, if they had something in mind, I could do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I feel like the pieces that I have now for sale are beautiful enough to be in other people's home, especially if they connect to the art, especially if
Okay.
they have a favorite and they really want to go home with it.
Okay. Okay. Well, family, we're talking to Tierra Hill tonight. She is a local artist and she paints. Um, and we're having a conversation about art and about her work. And Tierra, what kind of you do paintings of flowers, and I see the fruits. Do you do abstract paintings? Do you paint people? What other kind of paintings do you do?
I do abstract paintings.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. Let me show you. Let me show you another one that I have brought. It's abstract. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I got this one.
Oh. Oh wow.
This is pretty abstract. This is pretty abstract. This is one of those ones where I was talking about how I don't really have an idea in mind
Mm-hmm.
until I just start going. So I went to a painting sip. This was my senior year of college, 2015. No, I
Okay.
graduated 2019. Yeah, I started in 2015. Yeah. Okay. So I did this. I said, okay, I want to do a brown background. I just wanted to start off with brown. And
Okay.
then I said, okay, let me add a little tan. So I started adding this brown right here, these streaks. And then I'm like, okay, okay, what else am I gonna do? So I
Mm-hmm.
decided to do a cactus,
Mm-hmm.
flowering, of course, because I love flowers.
Okay.
And I just kind of just started adding.
Mm-hmm.
So this right here, this is abstract because this is the sky. Because of course I did a brown background first. And
Okay.
then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do a sky. So I just kind of did this little rectangle. So that's abstract. That's
Okay.
made up. That's made up.
Okay.
I could do people.
Mm-hmm.
For me though, I mean, cause I know that everybody has their strengths and things that they need to improve on. For
Mm-hmm.
me, I need to improve on my portraits.
Okay.
But all in all, I'm good with colors, abstract, but I could draw too. So
Okay.
drawing helps.
Now, you said you always like to draw. Um, did you have art classes, or what, did you go to art classes at school? How did this get nurtured? I mean, because I mean, you obviously, a lot of times with painting, people have to understand how to create a balance in the picture. How to create depth and the size, coordinating the size. And how did you know how to do that? Did you have formal training? Um, did you have art classes in a grammar school, high school?
Well, we did have art classes when I was at elementary school, and
Uh-huh.
I did learn about horizontal and vertical lines. I learned
Okay.
about the opposite colors. Green is opposite from red, yellow is opposite from purple, blue is opposite from orange. I learned
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I think it's just been practice and just kind of trying it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because from when I was young in elementary school, I've been just doodling.
Just doodling.
Yeah,
Okay. But
yeah.
did you doodle the mostly fruits and foods or you just drew all kinds of things?
When I was younger, I used to pretty much, what did I used to do? When I had my dog, I used to draw my dog. I used to attempt to draw people.
Mm-hmm.
I used to draw shapes, a lot of squares,
Mm-hmm.
3D, like cubes, just random stuff.
Okay.
But when I was younger, my mom, she bought me a drawing book, like
Okay.
how to draw. And
Okay.
I used to refer to the book to
Okay.
help me
Okay.
understand. For example, different letter fonts. When I
Mm-hmm.
was in what, second grade, I used to take people's names, like my classmates' names. I would get their names and I would do name tags for them.
Mm.
And I would charge them 10 cents per letter.
Okay. All right. So you always been a business lady.
Always, always,
Oh
always.
my goodness. That's interesting. And hopefully this can be inspiring to some people because a lot of people have uh gifts or desires and ideas in the back of their head and they just don't do. So sometimes when you can hear other people's journey, it can be inspiring. And so your story, as it is unfolding, will hopefully be inspiring to some other people that may be aspiring to be artists. um, if you were to define art, how would you define it?
For me, I instantly thought art is a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because somebody may see something and think that it's not art, and somebody
Mm-hmm.
sees the same thing and thinks that it's art. It's it's a feeling. It's a
Right.
feeling.
Right. So what somebody sees that they get a feeling from, because it's about a human creativity. It's about human imagination. It's about human emotions, and artists are so important to us. because we learn how to, or we have the opportunity to experience it in our different feelings in different ways. It's just like you listen to a song and the words are just, oh man, they're just really hitting you right where you are in terms of what you're thinking and how you're feeling. And sometimes it's not the words. Sometimes it's the melody. It's the sounds that you're gravitating towards. The words might be terrible because there are some songs out here people don't even know what the words are. They find out, but it was the melody. And so yeah, it is about feeling and it is about emotions. And so now with your paintings, um, do you do commission work? If somebody wanted something, how would that work with you? And say I wanted to get a commission piece. What would you want to know or need to know?
Well, I would want to know whether or not it was a specific idea or if it was abstract and you wanted specific colors. I would want to know the size, estimated due date, and that's it. That's it. I would recommend just having that person email me their specific request, and
Mm-hmm.
then I would ask for a deposit
Mm-hmm. Sure.
because the pricing varies based on the size and the amount of detail on the project
Mm-hmm.
and the materials it might take.
Okay. So what would be the price range for some of your work right now?
You
Well,
mean
a range.
you mean commission?
Commission, and let's say commission, and then let's say some of your or work that you already have done, your pieces.
Okay. Well, the work on my Etsy, the prices range from 25 to $50 based on the piece.
Okay.
My commissions, they're the prices range from 100 to 200
Mm-hmm.
based on the request.
Okay. Okay. All right. And so you mentioned Etsy. All right. So I know you're at the Macy's market. You have certain times that you're at the Macy's market. And then you're on Etsy. That's where you have your artwork where people can
Yeah, yeah.
purchase.
If you wanted to purchase, it would be TL Hill Creations
Mm-hmm.
on Etsy. It's just one word, TL Hill Creations.
TL Hill Creations.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So when you look it up, it's gonna say find shop name, and then you gotta press that, and then it's gonna have my shop.
Okay. Okay. Great.
And for the commissions, I don't want to say that the starting price is $100
Sure.
because not necessarily, but I've done a couple commissions that have taken me 8 hours, and I charged 140
Okay.
for a 4 feet by 4 foot abstract painting.
Okay.
So that wasn't too much detail, but it did take a lot. So, and then yeah, so like the prices do vary. I don't want to say that the minimum is 100. So if somebody would want something from me, they
Mm-hmm.
can look on my Etsy and kind of see what I've done. And then if they think that I'm the right person for them,
Mm-hmm.
they could email me
Okay.
tlhillcreations@gmail.com.
Okay.
And yeah, I would love to color people's spaces, help people out, help me, help
Mm-hmm.
you.
Okay. Um, so with the paintings that you do, what kind of paint? Is it acrylic? Is it, because there's different types of paint. paints that people use or
Yeah,
painting techniques?
I mostly work with acrylic paint. Sometimes I
Mhm.
use spray paint, but barely. I mostly use acrylic.
Okay. Okay. Now, you also expressed to me that you do some photography work.
Yeah.
So tell us about that because it's all relative here, because it's all about photographers are very interesting in being able to capture certain emotion, you know, uh, an activity, an action, or what have you. So what do you do in terms of your photography work?
For me, I feel like when I'm taking pictures, it's more so a time capsule. Like I'm capturing a specific moment in time, a specific, again, feeling. A lot of it is feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's color. Sometimes I think I'm one of those people where I feel like life imitates art.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when I see something and it's perfectly symmetrical,
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a picture. Or if it's a beautiful skyline like downtown Chicago and you're capturing that, you're capturing the colors that's on top of the Sears Tower. You know, the colors change in the
Sure.
building. So
Sure.
it's like you're capturing a moment. Sometimes they do red and green when it's Christmas time. So it's a moment in time for me. Like I'm capturing my life, where I am in those times, and beauty. Because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like in the moment is beautiful enough to where I want to take a picture.
Okay. So you might take pictures at an event or in pictures in the neighborhood.
Yeah, take pictures at an event, or since I'm such a nature girl, I'll take
Mm-hmm.
pictures of trees.
Mm.
I like taking pictures of flowers, the clouds.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I like taking pictures of life, or
Sure.
even, let's say, I'm thinking of a time when I was in Tanzania or Zanzibar. It's an island off the coast of Tanzania, East
Sure.
Africa,
Sure.
and they had sugar cane and they were rolling it out, and they just had stacks and stacks of sugar cane, and
Mm-hmm.
they had a colored tent,
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty. They had mangoes
Yeah.
on the table, they had glass, they had the tablecloth, and it was a moment. And I took a
Uh-huh.
picture because it was good. It was good. And another thing about me, I love sugar cane,
Oh,
so it
okay.
just
Oh,
felt
so do
good.
I. Yeah, yeah. That was one of my favorite things in Jamaica. When I would go to Jamaica, the guys would have the sugar cane and they
Yeah,
had the machete and they cut it. And I mean, it's nothing like it, sweet and juicy. And, we don't get to experience that here. By the time it gets here, it's kind of dried. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So would you say, I know someone who became an artist, he was a teacher, and he had two dogs, two little Cocker Spaniels. So no matter what he did, those little Cocker Spaniels, some kind of way, ended up in his picture. If they were somewhere in the distant corner or whatever. Um, so do you think you have your affinity to nature, that some of that would be in most of your work?
Yeah. Um, I just feel like for me, I just really like flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. When I'm painting, I feel like I always gotta incorporate some flowers, some
Okay.
some plant.
Okay. So when you're really famous one day, they'll be looking at you. See, there's always a flower in her in her work.
Yeah, it's almost always.
Mm-hmm.
Almost always. Even though I like to switch it up. Like, I don't want to say I'm a one trick pony. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I'm
Sure.
still perfecting everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to say I only do flowers. I only do clouds. I only do trees because that's not true. Even though
Sure.
even when I just kind of feel like sitting down, I'll just be like I kind of feel like painting a flower.
Okay. Okay. So that shows that you are evolving, you are growing. It's always a journey. It's always a journey. And you're on a wonderful journey with your artwork. Do you do black and white photography? Have you and let me back up. Some of your photography work, is that on your Etsy site as well? No?
Nah, it's not. It's not.
No? Oh, okay. Well, that's just a consideration. I'm asking. Uh-huh.
Yeah, not right now
Not
though.
right now. Okay. So then let's get back to my last question I was asking about the black and white photography work.
I don't really. I don't really take pictures in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. Yeah, see, I come from a generation of watching movies. You know, there were black and white movies. And so there's a difference for me watching the black and white movies and the color. When they brought the color in, it's just a it's a different perception. You know, maybe with the black and white, it kind of left more to my own imagination, where the colors started to bring in more uh, influence into what I was seeing. It's kind of how I was seeing it. So I do have an appreciation for black and white photography work.
Me too. Me too.
Mhm.
I do like seeing other people's work. I like it, but I don't necessarily go to black and white when I
Mhm.
want to take a picture.
Mhm. Okay. All right. So the other area, which again, like I said, you're music, yeah, well, you into photography, and then you're into the painting, and you also expressed to me music. And I think I told you, a friend of mine, Robert Irvin, used to play with Miles Davis, and Miles Davis started painting, and he recommended or advised his musicians to paint, you know, because again, we're dealing with art, we're dealing with imagination, we're dealing with creativity, whether it comes visually with the painting and the photography, and then auditorially with the music. So, what are you doing music wise?
Well, music wise,
Mm-hmm.
I'm attempting to make beats. And specifically, I'm trying to get into my podcast because I had a podcast
Mm-hmm.
in 2019, but I had a co-host. And now we don't do the podcast. He
Mm-hmm.
said we could either call it one, like end it, or he want to either give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, okay, this podcast it was more so talking about music. So
Oh, okay.
rap specifically, not
Ah.
specifically, because both of us we were both into different genres. Even
Mm-hmm.
though rap is my favorite, his favorite.
Okay.
But when it came to me redoing the podcast, I'm redoing it right now. I'm working on it right now. I'm learning how to make beats on my MPC. and it's still coming along. And also, when I had went to Tanzania, I I I went 3 times, but 2 times I came home with a drum. One
Mhm.
drum I bought impulsively because I'm like, come on, you want to take home that drum,
Mhm.
so I bought it. And then another time, I got it as a gift. I got a smaller one as a gift because we had the gift exchange because I had did study abroad. So it was from a student from the University of Dar es Salaam. And
Mhm.
her name was Zawadi, which actually means gift in
Okay.
Swahili. So yeah, I had said that I was into music and she got me a drum. And I have been pretty much coming up with tunes in my head, taking notes for what I want. For when I do the podcast, I want to do background music. Even though if there's people that I know that do music, for example, when I went to college, the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, I
Mhm.
knew a few people who did music. And I always say, if you want me to ad lib, if you want me to rap, maybe sing, I could do a little something. I could do a little something. So
Oh, okay. So you do a rap. So you do rap music. That's what you do.
I that's like the least thing that I do. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a rapper. I don't rap, but I like the idea of me rapping.
Okay.
So, but like all in all, if somebody would want me to get on a song with them, I could. I can
Oh,
catch a tune. I could do something.
oh,
Even though for the most part right now it's my art that I'm pushing, my paintings.
okay.
But I'm a Renaissance woman.
Sure. So what does that mean? You're a Renaissance
I'm
woman.
into the music. I mean, I'm into the arts.
Okay.
I'm into the arts. I'm
Okay.
into not just one thing. I'm into all of it.
All of it, all aspects of it.
Yeah.
That is great. That is great. Um, and it's interesting that you bring up the rap or the hip hop, because actually I was going to ask you, some questions about that. Um, because it's all art, whatever people might think about the words, the verbiage, the lyrics that's in a lot of the rap music. Um, the beat of the music is profound. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody. It's just like, okay, back in the so many generations back, it was James Brown. And if James Brown came on, nobody could be still. You know, and the rap music, the beat of that music is so powerful. And regardless what lyrics you put to it, and so what is your take, when people start to talk about rap music or whether they have a negative attitude towards it? Um,
Hmm. Okay.
yeah.
My take. All right. So for me, again, I know I keep starting off these answers with for me,
Because
but
hey, this look, this is Tierra Hill. Tierra Hill is a local artist here in the Chicago area, and we're interviewing her. Tierra is an artist. She paints. She does photography work. She's into music. And so, yeah, that's what we want to know. Tierra was telling us what she thinks, you know, and how she's been inspired to take this journey uh, through the art world. So, yeah, I would just like to get your opinion, how you see it.
all right. Well, I think that rap is another form of storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
poetry. I
Mm-hmm.
love the beats. I like bass. I
Mm-hmm.
know some people aren't that fond of bass, but sometimes I like having the floor vibrate. I don't know. But But I do also think that some of the music, some of the people that are rapping are dabbling in some evil stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that influences the wrong crowd. I'm not saying everybody's influenced by people talking about having guns, doing drugs, specific drugs too.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are easily swayed, so it's kind of easy to blame rap on, like, let's say things that are going on in Chicago, because they're correlated. Like, there's some kids that want to be thugs and they use the music to hype themselves up,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some people who understand what that life is like, depending on what the subject matter is, because not all rap is about guns and drugs. So depending on the subject matter, some people identify with knowing what it's like, struggling, trying to figure out a way to get by, whether or
Mm-hmm.
not that way is selling drugs, scamming, lying.
Mm-hmm.
That's their story. I feel like
Yeah.
if they're being authentic and they're rapping and it's
Mm-hmm.
good,
Mm-hmm.
I I I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of it, but like I engage with that, but not only that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I'm listening to people that are lying about their lives. If they're lying, then it's like, nah, it's not authentic. And again, it's a feeling, you
Sure.
know? It's a
Sure.
feeling. Well, maybe some people don't understand what I mean by it's a feeling. But it's like, if you know, if you listening to somebody and they're talking about them struggling and hungry, trying to figure out a way to eat, you might feel that. You might feel
Yeah.
that versus somebody who's just gloating and showing off their money on the internet, when it's like, come on now, do you really want to show off your money on the internet?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you got to be smart. Some people are not thinking.
Sure.
Yeah, so yeah, some of those people are indeed evil and dabbling in some crazy activity, and some of it is lighthearted and surface level.
Mm-hmm. But then, like you say, I like the fact that you describe it as storytelling, because I think a lot of people are telling stories about realities that they're in life that they're dealing with. Some not pleasant realities, others are. Um, and I mean, I hear people in other countries, uh, in their own language, but still they got using that rap beat, you know, to tell their stories, to talk about what's going on in their world and in their culture, but you still using that beat. And that's why I said that beat of their rap music is so important. And that's something that you mentioned about your podcast that you were involved in, and that was about creating beats. And beats are very rhythmic. Beats, however way they come, are very powerful, very powerful. And so I think with your creativity, I think with your sense of right and wrong, I think you'll be able to come up with some very profound beats and messages out here for people. So it's more of a rapping, just telling the story than singing. Do you have any that you have created that you would want to share tonight?
Not tonight.
What you said, not tonight. I catch you off guard. Well, I have to ask. Absolutely, I have to ask because music, is a reflection, of what's happening today. You listen to the music in the past, you listen to the music today, and the music of the future, you know. Um, and rap music is definitely out here center stage right now. Yep. And the hip hop, as you would say, the hip hop. So as we talk about this, and you talk about what you like to paint, and you've talked about what you like to take pictures of, and you talked about the music that you would like to present, and get involved in, um, what kind of messages do you want to give out? Because you are giving out messages. So what kind of messages do you want to give out to people with your work? Kind of, what do you want to send out? Whether it's your painting, whether it's the photography, whether it's the music, what do you want people to experience?
Okay. Well, with photography, I think what I would be capturing is the specific moment. I think that the moment should be readable. You should understand the story for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think with the art that I do, I think I kind of have peaceful art.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people see my art, they say that it's calm, feels like peace. That's what they say. I
Yes,
say,
I
okay,
agree. Uh-huh.
okay. I like that because you know what? When I'm painting, it also feels like peace to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
it also feels nice and calm. So I like the fact that that comes off. Like I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that that came off until people told me, and I said, "Oh, you
Mm-hmm.
feel it again. It's a feeling."
Sure. Sure. Even your color choice, I would see that very, very peaceful work. And then again, the pictures that you take, I'm sure you're capturing beautiful, beautiful moments, beautiful things.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I would assume in your hip hop music and your rap music, there would be something similar.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. I think for the beats specifically on the podcast, they would be chill beats, chill beats. I
Mhm.
think it just depends what the song would be because necessarily I don't really think I would be making a lot of music with me. I think me making beats is more so for the podcast. I
Mhm.
wouldn't mind being featured on somebody's stuff, but then again, I wouldn't want to be on just anything.
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
balance.
So, all right. All right. I like that. I like that. So Tiara, who are your customers? Who's your customers? Who's usually buying your work?
Hmm. I mean, who's been buying it?
Mm-hmm.
Black women have been buying it.
Black women.
But I'm not saying that the art can't resonate with everybody. I'm not
Sure.
saying that, but historically, the people who have put money in my pocket has
Mm-hmm.
been black women.
Okay.
So, but when I'm at Market by Macy's, everybody's telling me that they like the artwork. It's not just black women.
Okay.
So, people are showing me love, but again,
Sure.
they not spending money on me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, that takes time. Being an artist, it's something that you love to do, and you know, people will buy, art is something. I know a friend of mine used to go gallery hop. He called it gallery hop, and he would go to the different galleries and look at different pieces, and it's a very personal relationship and experience that you have when you're purchasing a piece of art. Very
Yeah.
personal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I think, for me, when I'm at the market by Macy's or I'm tabling and people look at the artwork, I always ask them which one is their favorite because I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has different favorites. I
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, hmm, it's like everybody has a favorite, but they love me. They still love me. They still show me love.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Well, I know for me, doing business, I do business, I go out of my way. I don't go out of my way. It's just almost a natural affinity for me to go and spend my money with Black businesses, Black business people. And it's to me about the relationship, you know. And so there was something about your spirit as a person, that I could gravitate towards and look at the work and see the beauty in the work. And then a lot of it just had to do with who you were. It shows, and it shows, it comes out. And I think you're gonna do well. I saw a couple of pieces, and I'm going to go on your Etsy and look because I wanted something bigger. I think I expressed to you I was looking for something bigger, and so I'm going to go on there and see, if I see something of what I'm looking for, because I have in mind something that I would like. So in terms of your work, you're getting pretty close to the top of the hour here. So what is your vision in terms of where you would like to go, from here with your all of your artwork?
I think mm, I just want to let more people know that I exist and
Mm-hmm.
that I am capable of doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I'm still just starting off. So maybe to some people I don't have a lot of experience and they may not want to try me out, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm capable of doing it. So
Absolutely. Well, you're doing it. You're look at it as a journey, and you're on the road, you're on the journey, and you always are going to evolve, you're always going to grow, and that's what life is all about. You don't want to, if you know it all and you got it all, and what's the point? It is a journey, and it's a learning, it's an evolvement, and so that's where you are, and you have the confidence to do that, and you obviously have the talent, and the skills, and whatever you don't know, you're going to figure it out.
exactly.
Exactly. So tell us again, family, this is Tierra Hill. She's a local artist here in Chicago. I met her at the Macy's in Evergreen Plaza. When are you going to be there again?
I'm gonna be there this coming Sunday, the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, March 26th. Yep.
Okay.
From 11 a.m. to pretty much the end of the day.
Okay.
They close at 7 on Sunday, so.
Okay. Okay. And so, what other ways can people see you or find you?
Well, just on Etsy right now. Right
Mm-hmm.
now. If they have a specific question, they
Sure.
can email me at tlhillcreations gmail.com.
You want to repeat that?
Yeah, that's T as in turtle, L as in library, Hill, Hill, creations at gmail.com.
Okay. All right. So they can find you on Etsy. They can email you with questions. And then you're going to be back at Macy's Market on 95th Street. Did you say this Saturday?
This Sunday,
This
the
Sunday,
26th. Yeah.
26th. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure, talking to you. And I'm going to be getting back with you as well. And family, again, you can go to our website at rrgbc.org. This interview will be archived on our website, along with our many other Black proprietors here in the Chicago area. And you can also subscribe and have a chance to win our book of the month, which is Saving Ruby King by Catherine Adele West, who's was raised and born here in the Chicago area. And she's one of USA Today's Black authors. And this book was recommended by Rose Cafe. You can go to rosecafe.org. That's one of our local bookstores. Go to our website at rrgbc.org, where we list all of our bookstores. And our directory of Black businesses is right around the corner. We've been working on that very diligently, and that will be coming up very soon. And so you can also go to our website, where we have an online store. Purchases help us to do the work that we're doing. This is a nonprofit organization. And you can also make donations if you go to rrgbc.org. So I want to thank you again for coming. I want to thank you, Tierra Hill. I'm sure we're going to be hearing more from you and your wonderful artwork, and we wish you well. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to say goodnight.
All right. Good night. Thank you again.
All right.